and gentlemen, request everyone to kindly take your seats as we are about to begin with the proceedings. I request the guests and the dignitaries to please take your seats as we'll be starting with the event shortly. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're delighted to have you join us today to commemorate the listing ceremony of Piramal Pharma Limited at the iconic VSC Auditorium. It is indeed a very, very momentous occasion and a significant milestone for the company. Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, I request everyone to kindly stand up for the national anthem. Jaya Jaya Adinayaka Jaya Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Uttara Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashish Mange Gahe Tava Jaya Gatha Jana Gana Mangala Dayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He. Thank you. Request you to please take your seats. Now we would like to commence with the proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, Piramal Pharma Limited is the pharmaceuticals business of the Piramal Group. Piramal Pharma Limited portfolio of differentiated products and services through end-to-end manufacturing capabilities across 15 global facilities and a global distribution network over 100 countries. Piramal Pharma Limited includes Piramal Pharma Solutions, which is an integrated contract development and manufacturing organization, Piramal Critical Care, a complex hospital generics business, and the India consumer healthcare business selling over-the-counter products. Piramal Pharma Solutions offers end-to-end development and manufacturing solutions through a globally integrated network of facilities across the drug lifestyle to innovator and generic companies. Further, Piramal Pharma Limited has a joint venture with Allergan, a leader in ophthalmology in the Indian formulations market. In October 2020, the company received growth equity investment from the Carlyle Group. Ladies and gentlemen, the Board of Directors of Piramal Enterprises Limited had approved the demerger of the pharma business and the simplification of the corporate structure in October 2021. Subsequently, in connection with the composite scheme of arrangement, the company has obtained consent from RBI, SEBI, NCLT, stock exchanges, and clearances from its creditors and equity shareholders. In consideration of the demerger, shareholders of Piramal Enterprises Limited have been allotted 4 shares of Piramal Pharma Limited for every one share in Piramal Enterprises Limited, in addition to their existing holding in Piramal Enterprises Limited. To mark an auspicious beginning, it is now my pleasure to invite the dignitaries to light the traditional lamp. So I invite the following dignitaries to please gather next to the lamp lighting area. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Ajay Piramal, Chairman, Piramal Group. Ms. Nandini Piramal, Chairperson, Piramal Pharma Limited. Mr. Peter D. Young, CEO, Piramal Global Pharma. From the SC team, we have Mr. Samir Patil, Chief Business Officer, and Mr. Nayan Mehta, Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Rama Agarwal as well. Let's have a huge round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. With this auspicious lamp lighting, we pray that our prayers reach the Almighty and the fire within us to be the best, to be a winner, and to succeed always also burns bright. Thank you so much. I request the dignitaries to kindly step to the dais. I request the dignitaries to kindly come to the stage. All right. Yes. Yes. Yes, may I request you to please come on stage? Yes. Very warm welcome. Very warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to welcome our dignitaries by presenting a bouquet of flowers. So let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Ajay Piramal, Chairman, Piramal Group. Please help me in welcoming Ms. Nandini Piramal, Chairperson, Piramal Pharma Limited. Very, very warm welcome. Warm welcome, ma'am. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Peter D. Young, CEO, Piramal Global Pharma. Well, welcome to you, sir. Very warm welcome to you, sir. From the BSc team, I would like to invite Mr. Samir Patil, Chief Business Officer, BSc. Warm welcome, sir. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Nayan Mehta, Chief Financial Officer, BSc. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the BSc AV.
The history of BSc is the history of India from a capital market perspective. Founded in 1875, BSc and the many men who founded the exchange took the torch forward and built it into the premier institution that it is today. The passing of the Companies Act 1850 paved the way for stock trading in India. But companies were few and people did not really have large investable funds for trading in stocks, broker receipts, and there was no trading hall or stock exchange building. And whatever little trading that took place was carried out in the open under the banyan tree. The American Civil War changed everything. An acute global shortage of cotton forced the mills in Lancashire to source cotton from all over the world, including India. As cotton was exported in large quantities, its price soared. An unusual influx of wealth in the form of bullion amounting to 850 million rupees landed on the beckoning shores of Bombay. Premchand Roychand, who by virtue of being the first Indian broker to read and write English, found himself eminently suited to lead the equities market in Bombay to a new level.
So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we all have been eagerly waiting for has finally arrived, where Piramal Pharma Limited will see itself listed on the Indian stock exchanges. With that, I request our esteemed guests to kindly move towards the gong for the gong ringing ceremony. And ladies and gentlemen, just 10 seconds before 10 o'clock, we'll be having a customary countdown. So we request everybody who is seated to have this customary countdown together. All right, we're just a few seconds away, before which we'll be doing a quick photo op. Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, also it's a request to everybody in the audience to kindly be seated during the gong ringing ceremony for videography purposes. All right, a very, very historic moment is just going to be starting. So ladies and gentlemen, we're just a few seconds away. And just before 10 seconds, once again, we'll be having a customary countdown, and then we'll be ringing the gong and welcoming this historic moment in our lives. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a few seconds away. All right, let's begin with the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hearty congratulations. Piramal Pharma Limited is now officially listed on the stock exchanges. And with that, I request, yes, the guests to be seated. Yes. Once again, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, to commemorate the significance of this event, we shall now have an exchange of mementos. Now I would like to invite Mr. Samir Patil and Mr. Nayan Mehta to present memento to Mr. Ajay Piramal. It's a special listing memento, which is a replica of the gong of BSc and the BSc bull. I request Chairman to now present, yes, the BSc bull. Yes, sir. Now request, thank you, sir. Now may I request Samir sir and Nayan sir to present memento to Ms. Nandini Piramal. Thank you, ma'am. Now may I request, sir, to present memento to Mr. Peter D. Young. That calls for an applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I request Mr. Ajay Piramal to present memento to Mr. Samir Patel. I request, sir, to present memento to Mr. Nayan Mehta. Thank you, sir. I would now like to invite Mr. Ajay Piramal, Chairman Piramal Group, to address this August gathering. Warm welcome to you, sir.
Mr. Samir Patil, Mr. Nayan Mehta, the former president of the BSc and our respected board member, Mr. Ramadurai, and friends. I want to thank the BSc for hosting us this morning and for allowing us to list today. For our group, this is indeed a momentous occasion. It is momentous because we are in the auditorium of the most historic, the oldest and prestigious stock exchange in the country, and it is indeed a singular honor for having an opportunity to ring the bell here. We have reached here thanks to a lot of regulators and so many others involved with this occasion. Whether it's the Reserve Bank of India, the Honorable NCLT, SEBI, stock exchanges, our shareholders, our creditors, and a host of our employees, many of whom are also here today, as well as the overall investor community. And I want to acknowledge our grateful thanks to them. For any company, listing is momentous and historic. But for us, and for me particularly, and for our group, it's even more historic. I have been in business now for a while, since 1977. I must have presided over more AGMs than I remember. But let me tell you, there has never been an occasion for me to ring the bell. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And another interesting fact, and when we saw the history of the stock exchange, it was in 1875 that BSE was formed. Our company, Murarji Gokuldas Spinning and Weaving Company, was actually established in 1871, and we have the legacy of a company which was amongst the first 5 companies which was listed on the stock exchange. So, therefore, it's even more historic for me. I just want to spend a few minutes to say why have we done this demerger. In 2010, we were basically a pharmaceutical company. It was at that time when we sold our domestic Indian pharma business to Abbott, the global pharma company, which was the highest valuation in history, and I think it continues to be for any formulations generic business. When we got the funding, we decided to diversify beyond pharma and went into financial services. And for the last 10 years, we built up both the financial services as well as the pharma business. There were 2 distinct businesses. Our philosophy has always been to act as trustees for all our stakeholders, trustees for our shareholders, trustees for our all connected with us, whether it's our customers, whether it is society, whether it is our creditors. And hence, we recognize that we have to do what is in the best interest of our stakeholders. We heard what people were saying, and they wanted to have more transparency in the way we conducted our business, because as you all know, pharma and financial services is very different. And therefore, we said that if we separate it out, there will be more transparency as far as regulators are concerned. Both financial services and pharma are highly regulated industries. Financial services, we have regulations with RBI, with the National Housing Board. Pharma has FDA, and of course the overarching regulations of SEBI and the stock exchanges. And therefore, we said that was important. It was also important for shareholders, because there are distinct set of shareholders, some who are more interested in financial services, others in pharma. Also, creditors, since being 2 different types of business, also wanted that to happen. And therefore, being the right time for India, we decided we should go ahead and do this. We have been saying this for a while now. And one other important thing we decided, and we said it publicly, at the beginning, many people were concerned, will the pharma or will the financial services be a subsidiary of the parent? So would Piramal Enterprises own shares in the other company, the demerged entity, so that promoters had greater, let's say, control or shareholding? But from day one, we decided that everybody, all shareholders would have the same basis. You had the same number of shares, or the same shareholding pattern would be repeated in both financial services and pharma. So that was, again, we felt as trustees, it was our obligation to do that. The last few years, we've been preparing for this demerger, if I may say. Even during COVID times, we raised money from Carlyle for pharmaceuticals, which we separated out. So therefore, there was enough of a runway for growth in the future. So a business which was hardly there in 2010, got us a enterprise value of 2.7 billion, and we separated out Pharma, at least as far as the management and was concerned. Since then, we have done also 3 acquisitions. So today, Pharma is of a size which can be listed. Similarly, in financial services, last year, it's just 1 year actually, almost to the date, where we completed the acquisition of DHFL, which was the first financial services entity referred to by the RBI in the new IBC code to the NCLT, and has been one of the largest resolutions in the country for any bankrupt business. So today we have these 2 solid companies which have been listed. As I look into the future, I think that, as the whole world says, and I believe too, that this is the time for India. And with all that is happening in the geopolitical situation, which you all know, Pharma is become a very robust and strong business as people want to diversify their supply chain out of China and looking to India. Similarly, with all the efforts which have been done by the government, by the RBI, the financial services business is also set to grow. And therefore, we look at the future with a lot of hope and look to the future as a bright future for the country, for both our businesses. And I want to and look forward to your being with us in this journey. And thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for always motivating and inspiring us. Ladies and gentlemen, now please help me in welcoming Ms. Nandini Piramal, Chairperson, Piramal Pharma Limited, to share her thoughts. Warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Samir Patil, Mr. Nayan Mehta, for hosting us today and for allowing us to have this lovely ceremony. And I'd also like to thank our regulators, the RBI, SEBI, NCLT, as well as our shareholders, creditors, as well as and our other stakeholders for helping us. I'd also like to acknowledge the merchant bankers, our other investment bankers, as well as our lawyers who have helped to get us here. You know, some may say we started our journey towards this demerger when we actually announced it. But if you look at our pharma journey, it's actually even longer. In 1992, and we're coming up on the 30-year anniversary of our first purpose-built plant in Pithampur, as well as our acquisition of our Digwal plant in 1995. So, you know, we've been in the pharma business a long time, but in 2010, we said these were the businesses that we wanted to be relevant in, and we wanted to scale them. So pharma solutions, critical care, and our consumer products. In the last 12 years, we have grown both in India as well as the US and the United Kingdom, and we're positioned as a global Indian pharma company. In 2020, Carlyle invested in us. We became a separate pharma subsidiary, and we embarked formally upon this path to the demerger. In this journey, we have faced many challenges, but we have been steadfast in believing in the potential of our business and our colleagues. Our values of knowledge, action, care, and impact have been the cornerstones of the foundations of the company, which can be seen in our record of ESG, quality, as well as safety and regulatory. But as a pharma company, I think what is also most important has been our focus on patients, customers, and consumers, and that has helped us become very unique. We've grown through acquisitions throughout our history, but we've also grown through our expansion of brownfield capacities and capabilities, and have seen our business grow through new sites, new products, and new colleagues. As we look forward, I think each of our businesses has a differentiated strategy, and we have unique cards to play. There will continue to be new mountains to climb, but I think as we live our values, and I believe each one of us can contribute to making us grow faster and more profitably than our colleagues. As a responsible business entity, we always endeavor to act in line with our purpose of doing well and doing good, and not just well for our shareholders, but also for our society and planet. I'd like to end by quoting it, and I'm not going to quote it in Sanskrit, but I will say it translated in English. You are what your deep driving desire is, and so is your desire is, so is your deed, and so is your deed, so is your destiny. Thank you, everyone, and I think good luck.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Mr. Samir Patil, Chief Business Officer, BSE, to please come forward and address this august gathering. Warm welcome, sir.
Good morning. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and warm welcome to the listing ceremony of Piramal Pharma Limited on the BSE main board. On behalf of BSE, I would like to welcome Mr. Ajay Piramal, Chairman Piramal Group, Mrs. Nandini Piramal, Chairperson Piramal Pharma Limited, Mr. Peter D. Young, CEO Piramal Global Pharma, and Shri Ramudurai as well. It is our honor to welcome you all to International Convention Hall of BSE. This convention hall has a lot of history, sentiment and nostalgia attached to it, as it used to be the trading ring where people used to use hand signals for trading. But like always, the old should make way for new. The story of BSE is the story of the Indian economy. With a 148-year-old history, BSE is one of the oldest working public institutions in India, having created wealth to the tune of more than $2 trillion. The benchmark index S&P BSE Sensex was first compiled on January 2, 1986, comprising the top 30 stocks in the country. The S&P BSE Sensex is often referred to as the barometer of the Indian economy and is called India's index the world tracks. Today, BSE is not only the world's largest exchange in terms of companies listed, but also the fastest exchange in the world with less than 6 microseconds response time. The equity market capitalization of BSE is more than $3.5 trillion, which makes BSE one of the most valued exchanges globally. A premier exchange for investments, BSE continues to focus on promoting investments and safeguarding the interest of investors. I am of the firm belief that the BSE alone will be able to collect more than $100 to $150 billion in funds every year for the next 10 years. Piramal Pharma Limited is getting listed on the exchange with capital of rupees 1,193 crores. The listing is pursuant to demerger of the pharma business undertaking from Piramal Enterprises Limited and vesting of the same with Piramal Pharma Limited. Piramal Pharma Limited is 5,313th company getting listed on the exchange. With this, I once again thank Mr. Ajay Piramal, Chairman Piramal Group, Mrs. Nandini Piramal, Chairperson Piramal Pharma Limited, and Mr. Peter D. Young, CEO Piramal Global Pharma, and the distinguished assemblage in this event for their august presence amongst us on this historic occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Mr. Peter D. Young, CEO, Piramal Global Pharma, to present the vote of thanks. Welcome, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to propose this vote of thanks on what is a momentous occasion in the journey of Piramal Pharma Limited. The listing of Piramal Pharma Limited on the Bombay Stock Exchange, one of India's most prestigious bourses, marks an achievement which we set out to achieve last year when we announced the demerger. The listing will further strengthen PPL's endeavor to create a global Indian leader in the pharmaceutical space, and we currently have a diverse range of products and services through end-to-end manufacturing across 15 global facilities and a global distribution network in over 100 countries. On behalf of the Piramal Pharma team, I would like to express heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for taking time out of your schedules to join us on this momentous occasion today. I would like to express my thanks to Mr. Piramal and Nandini for their leadership and trust, and also to Mr. Ramadarai for his leadership in our board over many years. The milestone would not have been possible without the efforts of our employees and clients who have played a pivotal role in our journey over the years. I would also like to thank Mr. Samir Patel, Chief Business Officer of BSC, and Mr. Nayan Mehta, CFO from BSC, for their presence during this momentous occasion. On behalf of Piramal Pharma Limited, I would also like to thank the regulator, SEBI, and its officials, the stock exchanges, the registrar of companies, our legal counsels, our auditors, our advisors, and agencies, and everyone else who played a key role in making this a success. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the media fraternity for their support. As a listed entity, we shall strive to live up to the expectations of our customers, consumers, patients, and shareholders, society, and deliver value to stakeholders in our journey as a listed company. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Piramal Group, I would like to thank members of the board, officials from BSC, investors, shareholders, and members of the media fraternity for joining us today. I would also like to congratulate Mr. Piramal, Ms. Nandini Piramal, and Mr. Peter DeYoung for this beautiful milestone. Thank you all for joining us for this momentous occasion. Also, it's a request, please join us for some refreshments, and wish you all a great, great day ahead. Thank you. And with that, I request Mr. Piramal, Ms. Nandini Piramal, and Mr. Peter DeYoung to come closer to the bell for another photograph. Next to the gong, please.